dun 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 dun. Hello, welcome to another Getting Projects Done with me, Chris. Sorry, I'm talking to you with my back here because I'm still farting around with stuff. Anywho, continuing work on the Wraithlord that we were working on yesterday, and we're going to get him fully assembled. We'll even do his base. I think what I'll do is I am going to glue him to his base. Normally I think I would do him more in sub-assembly and, you know, like that, but that's okay. You know, just how she goes. I'm joined today by Barf and Sheep. Oh, I don't have my little thing up. Usually I have it all popped up. I had to use another program to make this stream happen today because for whatever reason, the program I use normally shat the bed on me. So, yeah, it's kind of annoying. Kind of. Sorta. Oh, I need the chat. I don't have... Oh, there's the chat. Okay. You know what? Let's pop the chat out. Seeing as how... There we go. I'll leave it right over here. Sorry, I'm still messing around with my stuff. Alright. We good? Are we Gucci? And so how are you today, Barfin?
Pretty good.
You sound a little hoarse.
Yeah. Phlegm.
The damn Rona's getting everybody these days.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm done with that shit.
Yeah. I feel like I'm pretty much on the rebound now. Last week was rough. It wasn't that bad, but it could have been worse.
Yeah, but you feel it.
Yeah, damn right.
It's like the flu, but just a bit more annoying.
Very, yes. 100%. Alright. So we're going to use the default base. Just got to make sure I got my frame in here. Actually, let's move the chat over here for now. Yeah. So I got the base. And, you know, pretty standard affair. I was thinking, though, because of where I want this guy to initially be. Yeah. Something along those. I was even thinking of elevating or putting something else here to build up so that, you know, it looks a little bit more dramatic. I was even thinking of the little bits that are on the sprue, the little Eldar doodad thingies. Yeah, that little detail thing there. I was thinking about adding that to the base and having him stepping off, like just basically snip that. You know what? Let's do it. Let's just do it. Enough talking about it. Let's just do it. You working on anything today?
Yeah. Still the Escher.
The Eschers, yeah. Do you play? Go ahead.
3 out of 10.
Oh, not bad. Do you play
I haven't
Necromunda?
played in a long time.
No? Oh, no.
No, I haven't played 40k or Age of Sigmar in a very long time now.
Just time?
Yeah.
Like just getting the time together to sit down and have a sesh?
Yeah. Also the transport of models.
Yeah. That's the thing is, like, with 40k, you find yourself, like, so many damn models to transport around. And imagine, you know, like, because, like, me personally, like, I love apocalypse scale battles. And transporting all that shit around is really annoying.
Oh, yeah.
Like, really annoying. Not fake annoying. Ooh.
For reals.
For reals, yeah. So Yeah, I think we're going to make this like a little stand for him to leap off of. Just want to make sure I'm clearing some of this crap here. Yeah. So I'm thinking like this. This will be on the base. And have him... No, that gives it too severe an angle. So maybe like that. That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Yeah, maybe not. Because I really want it to be elevated, but I'm just grabbing a file here. I just want to take some of this edge down. I realize I'm taking the time to clean this surface and probably not even going to use this bit, but because we can slap it like there or even over here, put doodads things. Yeah, I still kind of want something to elevate him up just a little bit.
So lift him up where he belongs?
Yeah. Do I have any cork handy? I could always use some cork. I do not have any cork handy. I don't even know where the hell my sheets of cork are. Oh, where could my little cork go? Oh, where could it be?
I've never used cork.
No, for basing, no. It's pretty standard. You just head over to any kind of art supply stationery place, and you can get like rolls of like corkboard and stuff. Get it in various thicknesses.
Just tear it up and glue it on. Yeah,
pretty much. I mean, like if we really need me to play with cork, I can see if I can find my cork. I don't even know where the hell it is.
From what I gather is less is more.
Yeah. I mean, your entire
people make
like the entire base can have cork on it, and you know you're basically just making it look like rock, and it all depends, I guess, on like what grain of cork, because you can get really coarse cork and you can get really fine cork. Where the hell is my cork? That's not it. So I don't want to use something like green stuff or putty or anything like that. So then I've got another curing process to go through, and I don't feel like doing that. Where did I leave my cork? I don't know. I can't find it. Alright, I think I'm pissed off now. Is that it? Nope. Son of a bitch. No, I don't know where my cork went. And because I wanted it right now, can't find it. I'm guaranteed I won't even be looking for it later. And all of a sudden it'll magically appear. Here it is. Son of a bitch. Yeah, I don't know where the hell I put my cork. So I had a couple sheets of it. Annoyed now. So, what else can we use to fill up that base to create an elevated point? We can use bits. Let's use bits. What do we got here? Where is the box of terrain bits? What's this? Spaces. If it sounds like I'm mashing my way through stuff, it's because I am.
Like a goblet.
What's that?
Rummaging around like a goblet.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I have a box of like, no, that's metal. Just odds and ends of terrain and things of that nature. Oh, what the hell is this? For some strange reason, I just found a box that has a video card in it. Oh, apparently now it's a broken video card. There's 2 video cards in here. What the hell? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the hell this shit's about. I am confused. I realize this is not terribly exciting stuff, but too bad. First world problems are trying to find junk. I also realize that I need a file cabinet. I needs a file cabinet to organize up all my shit. God damn it. Where the hell's that box? There. What do we got here? Okay, we got a bunch of little bits here. Hey, Kim. Hey, hey. You're here now? Welcome here now. Alright, so I got like a little bin of odds and ends. It's like tank parts in here and yeah. Oh, here it is. Anybody remember this old bit from Here Quest? Anyway. See here. Got an old Imperial Guard dozer blade. Now, I had a bin for a bunch of terrain, and I could not tell you where that is.
With the cork.
What's that?
It's probably over with the cork.
Yeah, probably. See, I don't think I need a big piece. Just need the right piece. Excuse me. God, this is annoying me. Where is that box of terrain? Because like I have some parts that have like the old, you know, like the Imperial walls and shit like that. And that's what I was thinking of. I could just use that. Just cut some of that up, break it up, and, you know, use that to fill out the base with like debris and shit. But I can't find my box of terrain. Oh, I think I found something.
Ooh, discoveries have been made.
What's that?
Discoveries have been made.
Yeah. I think I found my box of odds and ends. Yeah, it's like a piece of terrain like that. No idea where that's from. Ooh, here's a good piece. Yeah, it's a piece of terrain from, I think, 3rd edition. Yeah, some good shit in here. Okay, yeah, we'll hang on to this piece here. So I don't really need that much. Oh, here's an excellent piece right here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this stuff is like from 3rd edition 40k. They had a bunch of little terrain bits and everything in that set. What's so funny?
I'm concentrating on my fucking after here and just here rummaging.
Well, I'm rummaging. What the fuck is this? Don't know what that is. Yeah, fuck it. I think that's it. Let's work with these little odds and ends here. Alright, so we can chuck that back. Are we gonna use this? Maybe. See, it's these two pieces here. They're kind of rando. Actually, I like this piece more. I don't like how this... Yeah. Like something like that right on the base. Just some rubble. Not sure why I would have this Eldar aesthetic. Well, I mean, like, the other Wraithlord I put together, I pretty much just put a Grillian Earth over the base, right over all this, and, you know, that's just basically what I did. So I don't have to have the Eldar bits in there. I can have just, like, you know, Imperial junk laying around. Though that feels a little too much. I think just that piece, really. Now I was trying to find a spot to put it where it kind of lines up logically with what's going on here with the rest of the garbage. And then how excuse me, how I imagine them leaping off, because I'm gonna have to clear a contact point so we can put the two together. Yeah, see, I kind of like that. Now he's really high up, but I'm okay with that. So it just looks more impressive, as it were. And you know Chris is all about being impressive. Unless, of course, you didn't know that. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to use those parts. Yeah, we'll just chuck that little Eldar bit in there. Screw it. Yeah, I don't think we really need this stuff. Would be nice to use this piece. But I think the base becomes too busy then. Yeah, I think it becomes too busy.
Yeah. That's a lot of stuff.
What's that?
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I didn't turn this light on. Oops. There we go. Forgot to turn that light on. Probably why everything looked weird. Kim, you don't have the thing up in the corner of the screen that shows the patrons and the voice. No. You probably missed it earlier. I was basically, the program I use normally to stream, for whatever reason, shat the bed on me today. Why it's not working properly, I have no idea. something I'll have to troubleshoot later. It's only something I discovered like an hour ago now. But yeah, I don't know what happened, but there's many variables at play on why the program might stop working. I even reset my computer and everything like that, and didn't help. Kim, I did 5 hours of airbrush work yesterday on terrain and models. I am doing the brushwork on a terrain for 2 Warcry starter sets. Cool, man. You're a machine, Kim. You're a machine. See, now the next thing I want to think about here is how I'm going to place this so that I can have the Wraith Knight, Lord, propped up on it and leaping. It's probably a little overly dramatic, but whatever. All right, let's start.
I mean, he's got a bloody sword.
He does have a bloody sword.
That would be a bit dramatic.
Yes. He does have an excuse to be a bit dramatic. Where is my rough sanding stick? It's going to be time to switch this one out soon. Yeah. Just want to put some tooth into this base here. I'm not trying to sand this smooth or anything. I'm just putting a surface so that the glue has plenty of something to hold on to. Yeah. Alright, let's clean this up. Yeah, we're going to use this. I think this is going to be a minimal amount of fuss going this kind of route. And I know everybody loves to do custom bases and things of that nature. Me personally, I don't do, I don't spend a whole lot of time on bases. Why? I don't know. Just don't. It's only when I'm really, into a project or an idea that I'll, spend a hilarious amount of time on a base. But otherwise, yeah, I don't really bother. Couldn't be bothered.
I'm the same.
Yeah, just like, I mean, it's an important aspect to, your miniature painting, but I'm not, I guess it's really the difference between, doing paintings for like competition type work and gaming, right? Like, you just don't really care. You're more concerned with how it all looks on the tabletop as opposed to in the display cabinet.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
As long as the army has a uniform theme to the base, I'm happy. Just slap some texture paint on there and diddly done.
Diddly done?
Yeah.
There's no diddling here, my friend.
Yeah, no. Stay away from the diddling. And the diddlers.
And the diddlers.
Don't be a diddly and step away from the diddlers.
There we go. Should have saved that for the end of the show.
No, I'll think of something probably some other smut. I don't know.
Yeah. Always delete your internet history. Just putting in score marks here just to make sure there's plenty of tooth here on for these parts to grab a hold of. Oh, right. No, before I glue it down, because I'm going to glue it there, because the way this little bump thing kind of meets up with this little terrain piece, it actually makes a pretty good little central point on the base. And yeah, I want to try and preserve the angle a bit. Oh man, I didn't even get anywhere near the profile for how this sits on this base. I also want to check in to see if I can see that it's forming a nice closed gap, of which it is. So I need to score it up to here and over here, like so. I'm not too concerned about all these little scratch marks I'm leaving on the base because, like I said before, I'm most likely just going to use a technical and cover over the surface anyway. Okay, so now we're pretty happy with rough placement. Now it's to work out where the Wraithlord stands. So all my green stuff cured. I'm not too concerned with the amount of beeswax, not beeswax, but lip balm I used. I can always afterwards come in with, cotton swab or something like that and just simply wipe the surface down. Probably should anyway, just because of all the handling I've been doing of this plastic. But yeah. Then, of course, yeah, it's the way this leg comes forward. Do I want it more like that? Or do I want it more like... like he's going to drop kick somebody? If it can fully spin around, I kind of want him, like, running. Manamana. Dun, 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 dun. Manamana. Anyway. Anybody remembers that old bit?
Oh, yeah. There was a thing at our school. If you said Menomina, you just had a fucking choir of people going. And dirty looks, of course.
Of course. Now, if I glue it there, yeah, that pretty much leaves the center of gravity right there, right? So really, all I gotta do is plane that down smooth. Maybe pin it if necessary. Should we pin it? Fuck. Yes, we gotta pin it. Because it's an important part, especially once the model's finished and everything like that. We're gonna have to make sure that that's rock solid, and because I most likely will invariably be playing with this model. So So, I want this end, and this, you know what, it even has like a good flat angle too. Yeah, this will work out fine. Sand on the top here. Okay. I like it. I dig it. So basically all I did was just flatten off this one end here where the foot will meet with the rest of the figure. I think the way that I have this angled, it'll be kind of forward like this. So this will be the front, like this is the front, that's the back. And so he'll stand basically there with mostly his center of gravity in there. Yeah. Okay. So I think I want to have the pilot hole go right around here. So I'm just going to lay a little pilot hole in here on the toes. And this is where I'm going to drill in. Just like that. Just create a little pilot hole. I always recommend, if you're pinning things and such, especially with styrene plastic, you should always make a pilot hole so that, you know, your drill bit doesn't jump around on that surface, especially if you're using like a rotary tool. Yeah. It's just smart. It's just be smart. Disco! Afternoon disco. Heretic Scott, are you looking a little trimmer, Chris? Maybe just the wide angle lens? Am I looking trimmer? I mean, I was sick for the last week or so I might have lost some pounds because I didn't really eat much. But otherwise, no, I mean, over the last like 3-4 years, ever since basically being diagnosed diabetic, I've obviously started watching what I eat and, you know, trying to take better care of myself and, you know, not drinking as much alcohol and, you know, all these things, just trying to take care of myself, right? And yeah. But otherwise, I don't know. Now, my pants do not fit me very well. And in fact, like, okay, now I'm sure many of you are out there. I suppose this goes for both men and women, but a lot of the guys out there, I wear my pants typically below my stomach. Typically. So when I tie up my belt and what have yous, you know, my waist is down there. And the last, I don't know, couple months now, I've found that to keep my pants fitting properly, I have to pull them up like over my belly button. So, yeah. Just so my pants still fit. I know, first world problems.
Well, I was just about to say, could you just go get new pants, couldn't you?
Well, what am I, fucking made of money?
I don't know. Are you?
No. Here's the shocker. No. Pothole in the rocks.
Invest now in Chris Court.
Yeah. Put a little pilot hole right in the rocks. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, the pants not fitting and yeah. Disco. Time to start buy new pants, Chris? Yeah. Start wearing suspenders. I occasionally do wear suspenders. It's usually just with my thinner pants. I have like cargo pants and my khakis and stuff like that. Typically I'll wear my suspenders with those, but like with jeans, no, I don't wear suspenders with my jeans. I don't know. It feels like it breaks some sort of code. Is there a code for jeans and suspenders?
There probably is.
Yeah, I feel like there is. I feel like that's a faux pas. And probably using the term faux pas is a faux pas.
Full circle.
Yeah. Man, I need to lube up my pin vise here. Jeez. It's starting to sound like it actually... how it sounds when I actually start drilling. It's a dad joke for all. Kim, yeah, it's a don't do. It's no good with suspenders and jeans. Yeah, I again, I feel like that is some sort of societal fucking fashion rule or something like that. Like one of those stupid things. What the hell is just on my hand? Or am I tripping balls? Something was just on my fingers. What the fuck? Anyway. Yeah, jeans. Jeans and suspenders. Sorry, I couldn't remember where the fuck we were talking about here. Alright. Now, Hopefully I don't drill all the way through the toe. Do they make mini drill presses? I imagine they do. Because I think a small drill press is something I should look into. Okay. Let's see here. Is that deep enough? Shit, that looks plenty deep. Get in there real deep like. Oh my god, I can't pick that up. Oh yeah, that's plenty. Alright. So let's make our pin. I just want to file off the end. Oh, I need my clippers too. My clippers. My clippers. Here's my file. I use these junky pair of clippers here to cut wire and stuff. Brass rod. Just filing off down the end of the pin here. Yep, there we go. All right. Now, how far does this go in? Mm-hmm. Are we making jokes? Oh, that goes in there real deep like. Oh, I need my super glue. Well, it's not super glue. It's Zap-A-Gap. For gapping your zap and zapping your gap. Stupid ass jokes.
What would your zap be? What body part would constitute a zap?
What body part would constitute a zap? Interesting question. Yeah. I mean, it's the first place you go is the obvious. So, I think I want to go with something else, right? Let's go outside the box here, and so, what would the zap be?
We've already established that it has a gap.
Because there's a gap in that zap, and what is the zap? Well, I mean, the obvious thing would be the gap, right? Because sorry girls, but the inner between the thighs and your pelvis, there's a gap there, right? So that would be the first. I'm sure every heterosexual out there is going, yeah, okay, yeah, that's where I was going with it. So I'm gonna go with a different path. Okay, so what's the zap on a woman? What is the zap on a woman? I would say it's the space in between her elbow, her forearm, and her bicep. So yeah, so that's the zap right there, that inner elbow part. That's the zap.
Okay.
Now, there are some individuals out there who fetishize such places. So, is the zap a sexual place? And my first inkling is yes it is.
Isn't everything?
Pretty much, yes. You are correct, sir. You are
someone, somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, is it proper? Is it healthy? Is it, whatever? Probably not. But, what are you going to do? Heretic's got suspenders, jean shorts, high socks, and sandals. Oof. Suspenders and jean shorts. That's a look. That's a look. Because like when you say suspenders and jean shorts, the first thing I think of is like modern lederhosen. Because those are basically shorts with suspenders, right? But it's all one piece, no?
Oh, yeah.
Or is it? Or am I misnaming it?
No, they're like oh, what are they called? Fucking, not overalls. They're like.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm smelling what you're stepping in.
Kim, I that are into clothing know that you don't do that unless you're a lumberjack or something. Well, what if I was a lumberjack and I was okay?
Sleep all night, work all day.
Sleep all night and work all day. Oh, man. Disco, I'm all about the... What is it? Anthaleisure? Anthaleisure? I'm not familiar with that word. Anthaleisure. Anyway, these days, used to turn up my nose, but working from home, all I wear now. Oh, like leisure wear? Yeah, okay. Yeah, just wearing like, jogging pants and stuff. Yeah. Jogging pants in the daytime is the sign that you've given up on everything. You just flat out just fuck it. I'm done. I'm done with this bullshit. Kim, today's suspenders are a more fashionable thing than a practical thing. For that, use a belt. Yeah, normally I do wear a belt, mainly because, well, you may or may not know this, but oftentimes a lot of Native American people, we have flat bums. And oftentimes very narrow hips, especially the male will have narrow hips. So, yeah, there's no waistline, essentially, is what I'm saying here. And so shit just falls right off. So even a good, tight-fitting jean will just fall right down. There's basically nothing. There's no ass. And basically what I'm saying is there's no ass. Most Native American people do not have ass. We often refer to it as bannock bum. So, you learned something new today. Kim's probably like, what the fuck is he talking about? Bannock bum. So if for any of you Canadians or Americans who you're friends with any First Nations people, yeah, you can ask them. So is bannock bum a thing? And they will invariably say, yes, it is a thing. And then they'll probably get a little bit defensive because they'll be like, why? You saying I've got a bannock bum? And then, yeah, then you're in a fight. It's not used as an insult, typically. I'm going to use the contact cement to glue this down. I'm not going to use super glue because typically super glue in this job is just not as good as using styrene cement. But I do want to use a fair amount. Alright, so I'll slap this down right there. Goddamn, right there. Beep, 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 beep.
I could think if we have anything like that. That's sort over here. And the only thing I could think of is the Salme nose. We have pudgy noses.
Pudgy noses?
Yeah, usually. Like native Salme people have pudgy noses.
Oh.
it's just cartilage, nothing else. I can just press it in and feel nothing.
Interesting.
Now the theory is that it's so it doesn't fucking freeze off.
Right.
Because it's like a, yeah.
Right, yeah, because like historically the people in the area are used to very, very cold climate. I say used very loosely, but people are climatized.
I never feel cold. I mean, I live in the south, but when I go up north and meet family, I generally don't feel cold.
Right. Hucka hey, haha. Well, native women, not so much. Yeah, no, I know. If you drop the term Bannock bum around a bunch of girls, First Nation girls, yeah, you're probably gonna end up in a fight. They'll be really insulted. Although they'll find it hilarious that you know the term, and that might get you time to escape. Basically, is while they're laughing and giggling amongst themselves, you hightail it out there because you're in trouble one way or the other. Either you're going to be buying drinks or you're getting your ass kicked. One of the two. Those are usually the two outcomes. So, yeah.
The thrill is to figure out which one's going to be.
Ah, yeah, that is the thrill. That's why, like they say, the thrill of the hunt, right? So, that is the thrill because, you just never know how it's going to go. It's like, you're on safari and you see a rhino and it's like, oh, he doesn't see us. And then all of a sudden he comes charging at you and you don't know what to do and you don't want to shoot the animal and, so you end up getting gored or pegged.
Jim died now. I got pegged by a rhino.
Got pegged by a rhino, right? Like, that sounds like an album. That sounds like an album. Pegged by a rhino. That'll be our first album. Pegged by a rhino.
Sounds like a grindcore band. Pegged by a rhino.
My throat is still kind of a little bit sore, but yeah, if I was feeling 100%, yeah, I would totally do it right now. Ooh, pegged by a rhino. Anyway, no, I can't do it right now. Kim, my wife is... How do you pronounce the word?
Sapmi.
Sapmi?
Yeah.
Sapmi, okay. What does the word mean? Like, what's the translation?
That you are of these Sami people. Like a Sapmi. I think... I don't speak the language at all. Well, I know some terms, but I'm the wrong person to ask.
Okay, well...
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Because, like, I've heard the term. I just, it's not something I use all the time, so I'm not, that familiar with it and all. But, yeah. Sapmi. Try to remember that. Hucka hey, that's what happened when I suggest suspenders for them. Don't do that. Good God, man. You're just gonna end up dead. You'll just end up beat up and dead. Or drained of all your fluids. Yeah.
Are they vampires?
Of a sort. They have soul-sucking abilities. I mean, if you're into fierce, determinate women, yeah, get yourself a First Nation girl.
See what I can do.
Are you fucking... Where's the hole? There it is. Yeah, you heard me. Whenever I'm making that joke, like I can't find the hole, I always tell people I was born cesarean, so I never had a frame of reference. That usually gets me out of a few awkward conversations. Yeah, I think that's it, man. This is this is the vision is coming together finally. It's finally coming together. Kim, there is no translation for it. It's the same as First Nation for you. Well, so Sapmi is the
People.
right. It's the name of the people. But see, like on this side, we only use First Nation in the context of addressing the people who were first here in North America, right? Because I mean, like, but if it's their word for themselves, then it might be very similar to a lot of people's words for themselves anyway. For example, I'm Ojibwe, but to be more correct, when I'm referencing ourselves or our people, we are Anishinaabe, singular, or Anishinaabeg, plural. Now, Anishinaabe, a lot of the common translated terms, or the terms for like that, what it means, the word, is original human. That's often the translation that is used for Anishinaabe, meaning original human. Now, I think that's really just more in reference to we're just people, right? That's just a word for us. It's just because we do have words for other ethnicities, nationalities, and such. So yeah. So I'm just wondering, is Sapmi? Is it in reference to the people, or is it what the people call themselves? I guess within the language, right? Because like we are Ojibwe, or I'm Ojibwe, I should say. But Anishinaabe, we are three people: Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi. Ojibways, what our name, like basically, we don't call, like we often don't refer to ourselves as like, hey Ojibwe, you know what I mean? Like we don't. It's just Anishinaabe, right? It's just hello, and
Oh yeah, now I'm getting it.
and so Ojibwe is basically the name our friends and our enemies know us by. And the translation for Ojibwe is roughly to pucker. To pucker, there's two possibilities of the origin and what the context and the meaning of it all. Either it is in reference to how we produce our moccasins, where we use a technique where we use a puckered seam on the moccasin, where we join, I guess, the two parts of material together to sew it together, and it's a puckered seam. And the other one is notoriously with our defeated enemies, usually the warriors. They'd get wrapped in birch bark and then burned alive until puckered. So
That's fucking metal.
yeah, I'll be right back. I gotta hit the washroom. I'm just gonna mute myself. But yeah, feel free to entertain the group. Oh, I didn't mute it. Oh, I didn't mute it. What the fuck?
Pretty violent way.
Piss on the birch.
Yeah, I think he needs piss on the corpse of your
because you missed it. I came into you talking about how you used to wrap people in bark and burn them alive.
Well, not people. Warriors. Enemies.
Well, that's what I meant, like warriors.
Well, I mean, but when you
about blood eagles,
but when you say
like,
people,
gosh.
that includes women and children.
Oh, okay.
We don't do that.
Warriors. Enemy combatants.
Yes.
Warriors.
If you want to use modern terminology, sure.
Yes. And then Greedy was talking about blood eagles. And I was like, wow, you're violent. We just kind of shot people.
People got beheaded all the time.
That's true.
And witches were burned for being witches. Women were burned.
If you look into the Salem trials, it gets really interesting because they would spare you from being burned and stuff.
Sure.
If you gave them names.
Yeah. And I'm sure they were repeatedly raped and burned. And
names. And it was actually one of the churches had to send a priest to go up there and go, hey, you guys need to chill the fuck out.
Where am I?
Since we're talking about fighting, killing, and stuff, I learned something I didn't know about gladiators.
Do you like movies about gladiators? Go ahead. Gladiators, go.
The whole thumbs up, thumbs down thing wasn't actually a thing. It was kind of like if the crowd was just like jeering to kill him, you might get permission to kill him. But if you killed somebody else's gladiator, your gladiator house, so basically the person that owned you, would have to then pay the person that owned the person you killed.
You break it, you buy it.
Basically, yeah. Right?
So if a gladiator killed another gladiator, that gladiator's sponsor, if he was a slave gladiator, that gladiator's owner would have to pay people the other gladiator belonged to for killing that gladiator.
Sounds reasonable.
So gladiators killing each other happened, but it wasn't super common. And I also learned this is they ate a lot of like ancient style like oatmeal.
Okay.
Because they needed to be strong, but they needed to be fat strong. They weren't, like cut 300 strong. They were fat strong because they wanted the spectacle of blood without, necessarily just outright killing gladiators. So they would be fat, pudgy, and when fat, pudgy people get cut, they bleed a lot more.
Interesting. That's it?
Yeah.
That's it for the book report?
Yeah. Subscribe to get more.
Kim, it's an old name from the area the people were coming from. So north of Norway and Sweden, Finland, and a bit of Russia. The area was also called Sapmi, so the people called themselves the same as the area. Interesting. Sapmi. Greenleaf terrain. Chris had to piss on a birch outside. He will return soon. You know what, though? There is a birch. It's right between the property I live on and my next door neighbor, and there's a birch tree. It's been growing. Like, it was a sapling when I first moved here, but now it's like 6 years later, and it's got a pretty thick trunk to it. It's probably, I don't know, 3/4 of a foot, thick, and it's starting to warp my fence. I've got a big wood fence between the two properties, and yeah, it's gonna have to be dealt with soon, I think. Hucka hey, so Kim, are they not Sami people from the Sapmi region?
Well, they are.
Yeah. Yes, but it's not the actual reason. It's just the area the people inhabited before we white people got there. Okay. Hey, bros. My bros Potawatomi, and they have several bands located in different areas, mostly forcibly removed during the last century. Yes. Yeah, a lot of Potawatomi territory was lower Michigan, Illinois, Ohio. A lot of Potawatomi. Potawatomi, actually, they are, not to be disrespectful to Potawatomis, but they're like the little brother in the three of us, because we're three people with a common language and culture. And yeah, Potawatomis are they're like the little brother. They're not little brother. It doesn't, not signifying that they're weak or anything like that, or needed protection or anything like that. It is just there was fewer of them than Ojibways. We outnumbered a lot of people, and yeah, basically, because okay, Potawatomis, Odawa, and Ojibways, we form the Three Fire Confederacy. We are three peoples who unified by language and culture, and the Potawatomis are the keepers of the fire. Odawas are keepers of the trade, and the Ojibways are the keepers of the scrolls, or the word, whichever translation you go by. So, yeah. Anyway. Kim, yes, but it's not an actual region. It's just the area the people inhabited before. Oh, no, I read that. Interesting, Kim. We'll do more research before I get to Norway. Yeah, showing up in Norway. So where are all the Samis at?
Mostly in Oslo.
I was making a joke, but is that a thing? Do people show up in Norway saying that?
People from Asia usually go up to the north to see up in North Cape and all that stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, I've seen most of the tourists I've seen up there are either German or some sort of Southeast Asian.
So like China, Vietnam, Thailand, that kind of thing? Gotcha.
Yeah. I was, my father used to drive like the tourist bus that takes you from northernmost town up to North Cape.
Cape or Gape?
There were Cape.
Oh, got excited.
North Cape. Nice. Yeah, but I was in a bus full of Koreans, and they tried speaking Korean to me. And like, no, I don't fucking know, man. Why are you speaking to me? Use sign language.
Yeah.
Shoving things in my hand. No. Well, how old was I? I was like 11, 12.
Okay. I think we're getting there. Kim, so you're practically the word bearers of the First Nations. To put it within the context of 40K, I guess.
You heard it here first, Chris. Actually, the bad guy in the story.
Yeah, apparently we're the bad guys. Shit. Okay, we'll give that a few moments to set up.
So if Chris is the word bearer, then who's the, trying to think of who would have been the loyalist counter. I guess the Ultra. Who's the Ultramarine?
Who's the Ultramarines? Yeah, I don't know.
Who'd you fight on?
Who did we fight a lot? We fought the Dene, the Dakota people. The folks who live in teepees out in the prairies. Yeah, we fought them. And we fought the Nottoway, the Six Nations, Iroquois and Mohawk, Seneca and Huron. Yeah. Basically, the Cree are kind of like cousins, if you will. And they're up in the Hudson Bay area. They reside mostly along the Hudson Bay and everything.
I got mail today. One of them was a 3D printed miniature for 30k because I needed some characters that were chaosy, but also not Space Marines. For trader guards, basically. 30k, and I gotta figure out because the listing didn't have a scenic base. It just had like a normal 3D printed 25 mil. When I got it, it came as a scenic base. It's still 25 mil, but it's a scenic base, and it's got a dead Necron on there. And I'm like, well, he's 3D printed in there, so I can't really just scratch him out because he's part of the scenery. So if I scratch him out, there's just a big hole in the base. So I'm trying to figure out how to green stuff around him to make him disappear.
Could make him into a skeleton of sorts.
Yeah, make him a skeleton.
A skilly boy.
What is the base made of? 3D printed?
Yes, the 3D printed resin.
Why not just file it down?
It's hollow in the middle.
He's hollow, yeah.
Oh.
It's a very finely, so he's hollow. Like if I turn the base over, I can see up into him because he's on the side of a pillar, leaning up against it.
Right.
Trying to figure out. I could make him into a skeleton if I file down his armored shoulder pads a bit.
Yeah, I did that with Necrons to make zombies for D&D. A long time ago.
Because the reason I got this miniature is there's not a lot of good. There's a lot of good guardsman minis for 40k. There's a lot of good Solar Auxilia miniatures for 40k. I mean for 30k. There's not a lot of good Chaos miniatures. I mean, yeah, you could Chaosify the Loyalist kits, but it doesn't really, just filing off an Aquila or something and going, he's Chaos, doesn't really do it for me. So I got this one. It's like a slightly larger because they're mutated officer that has weapon options in the kit. And one of them is a power fist, but instead of it being a power fist, it's like a mutated demon claw. From the demon prince hands, where it's the big muscly demon hand with claws coming out of it.
Right.
Yeah, and it's that. It's halfway down the arm. So that's why I got it, because it was really character. Because I play a lot of Loyalists in 40k, or I don't want to say just Loyalists because I play Eldar. I don't play a lot of bad guys. I mean, I have, some Chaos Space, but a lot of people in my local, they don't play Space Marines, they play Chaos. So, I've never really had a reason to play Chaos, but when it comes to 30k, most of the people play Space Marines. And in 30k, the Loyalists and Trader Space Marines kind of all look the same.
Right.
So, when it comes to, normal humans, I feel like there's a lot more work with outside of, the special units for Space Marines. Because, obviously, normal humans wouldn't be wearing as much armor to hide up all, the mutations and shit.
Not likely, anyway, yeah.
I thought this, officer, and they're slightly bigger because they're supposed to be mutated, and the chaos when you pick Trader Guard or Trader Militia or whatever the hell they call it in 30k. It's no longer like a Lord Commander, whatever they call it. They have a special for the chaos equivalent, and his stat line is actually slightly better. To represent, he's a bigger mutated dude.
Right. It's hard to tell if I'm getting enough contact here.
Would you get more contact with the Zappa Gap?
Yeah, but I don't really like using super glue to glue plastic parts together.
Oh yeah, true.
Mainly because it becomes very evident the first time you drop the model. Super glue cyanoacrylate will just basically explode on any kind of impact. Especially if a lot of people tend to use a lot of CA glue when they're gluing parts together. And so when you use a lot, it just becomes like this big mass of brittle material, right?
Which is why I like using the gel, because for me at least, it's a lot easier to put a lot less.
Yeah, well, with the super glue though, like obviously gluing resin, metals to resin to plastic to metal, cyanoacrylate is the best glue to use for now anyway. It's still not that durable, but you still have to take precautions, score the parts, provide surface, right? But for styrene plastic, you cannot beat cement for
Cement for plastic. But when I have to use super glue, I tend to use gel kind because I've never had luck with the liquid kind I have on like flat surfaces, but like putting arms on stuff, sometimes that liquid super glue just freaking gets it.
Yeah. You get like the cheaper, like disposable little nibbed super glues, and yeah, they like that glue is just really really thin. It just goes everywhere. But that's the stuff that works really really well. And with super glue, you do not need very much to make a good bond. And in fact, having too much CA glue will give you a bad bond. Kind of like the plastic cement. Too much plastic cement, it'll just take forever for it to cure. It can overly melt the parts together, affect how parts make contact with each other, and especially with like the way some of these plastic kits are designed, where they're keyed for a specific angle, and if you put too much glue down, it melts too much of the plastic, and it can change the angle which parts fit together, right? I thought I just heard something here in my office. I might be freaking out.
Was it the thing that landed on your hand?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, there was a fucking thing that was on my hand. You know what? Yeah. I heard it down low. I got a bunch of shit over here. I was disturbing a bunch of stuff, so I might have unsettled stuff that was just sitting there before. Yeah. Anyway. Or it's ghosts. Ghosts. Where the hell am I? Kim. Asian, Italian, a lot of mid-Europe people like Germans, Swiss, Austrians are most common tourists. In Australia, the Germans are most interested in Aboriginal culture to the extent that the Germans were huge supporters of our famous Aboriginal rock band. Oh man, I know. Yothi Indi? Interesting. Yeah. Their song Treaty is played heaps now as are moving towards reconciliation finally. Well, hopefully. Yeah. It's always tough. I mean, I'm sure the folks in Australia are probably in a similar boat as the folks in North America and South America and Central America. And no. Kim, that's why I like the Black CA glue. It does so I can see the amount of glue I apply, and that has done so when I use a CA glue. I use a lot less. Yeah. All the tourists come from northern Norway, comes to see the northern lights and ski in the mountains or the midnight sun in the summer. Oof, yeah. That's right, you're way up there, right? So yeah, you gotta deal with the never-ending sunlight. I don't know. That would I'd be a little bit off by that. I don't know. Something about just the sun never setting just freaks me out. Not that I'm triggered or anything like that. But, yeah. Alright. Let's clean up a little bit. As you may or may not know, Chris is a bit of a neat freak. But yeah. Okay. So he's setting up. So we'll let him be. That's still setting up. It still looks good. Yeah, it's good. Alright. Cannons. We won't worry about the cannons. There was something else, though. What was it? There was something else with the Wraithlord I had to do. Because we got the full basic, like, the rough assembly here of him. Right? All we have to do is glue the guns in place, so we'll do that afterwards. Oh! It's the crotch. His crotch, man. We got to take care of his crotch. Do you like how I just basically touched his crotch and then sniffed my finger? It's a habit. Oh, and I just put away my tools. Okay, so I'm going to put the crotch plate armor thing. I'm going to use that. Crotch plate armor.
I'm here trying to calculate shipping to send something, and I just remembered the post office stopped doing it. They just go by weight, and if your package is over 12 inches, then anything.
Yeah.
Mailing a book, buddy, and I'm just like, why is it only asking how much the package weight? And I was like, oh yeah, because they don't do the measurements anymore. Whether my box is, really small or, 8 by 8 doesn't matter as long as none of the dimensions are over 12. So yeah.
There were so many jokes.
Yep.
In that paragraph.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
I would have judged you, and then I would have wrote Uncle Joe a letter that there was oil in the city you live in.
Good luck.
Uncle Joe?
Yeah.
Is that what everybody calls him now? Uncle Joe? Or is everybody still calling him Brandon?
Uncle Joe came first.
Oh.
And it is both. Some people use it as, I guess, endearment, and some people use it as he's the crazy senile uncle. that everybody has.
Yeah. All right. So, we have this cloth. Some of you may or may not remember, I wanted to make this cloth so that it was flowing. Now, for other projects, like my Wraith Knight, what did I use? I think I used plastic card. Cut it to shape, and then used the heat gun to form it and bend it. And yeah. So, if I put this cloth into place, obviously it doesn't work because it's too straight, right? Even if I angled it back, it just isn't going to work. It's going to look weird. So, we need to give it some dimension. Wait, which is the front? I think that's the front. Yeah, that's got to be the front. All right. So, for that, we are going to... What does that plug into? I think that's my mixer. I'm going to go get my heat gun. Yes, I know. Very dangerous. But I'm going to use a heat gun. I'm going to bend this plastic. Normally, I would use like a small candle or something like that. But open flame, plastic, that's dangerous. Burn my fucking house down or something. Anyway, I'll be right back.
There he goes.
Could not tell you what wattage or anything like that as far as what this heat gun is concerned. All I know is it gets fucking hot. Oh, sorry, wait. It's 120 volt. 60 hertz. Sorry, 1350 watt. Okay. Anyway. It's a little Black & Decker. Not a terribly expensive one or anything like that. Again, what am I, made of money? Alright, this is my mixer, I think, right? Nope. Oh, it's my lamp. Oops. Shit. So, can we plug in right there? No. I have to plug in over here. Yeah, that's the right one. There we go. We good. Oh. There we go. All right. So now, I need, before I fire this all up, I need to be able to hold on to the piece and bend it. Oh, that's my other vise. Yeah, we'll use this vise. Kim, the 2-3 months of pitch dark in the winter, just like now, the 2 months of 24 light is not so bad. Yeah, I don't know, that still would freak me out, dude. Just the idea of it is just freaking me out. That's why I probably will never go to like the Yukon or Northwest Territories or Nunavut or Alaska or any of that fucking place. Because that shit just freaks me out. I know, I'm a big baby.
Big baby shit.
What?
You got crazy big baby.
Yeah. I am a big baby. I think that's well established. Alright.
Yeah.
So I put the bit in my little jeweler's vise here. So we got some strength and reliability to hang on to the bit. Now, I need to make sure that that's the front. So the front is that way. I need something to bend it over. You know what? Yeah, let's try this. I'm going to use my my jar from my hobby brush here. I'm just going to use that so that when we heat it, and we can just bend it so it can follow this curvature. Because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bend mostly at the base here, because I want it to flow a little bit like what I did for my Wraith Knight, how it sweeps back and then comes kind of forward again a bit. Just so it kind of has that flow like cloth, right? So that's what I'm going to plan to do. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to work everything out before I actually do it, because I'm probably going to fucking burning myself or something. I think we've got everything right.
Measure twice, cut once.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's sound advice. Sound advice. Words to live by. All right. Set her on 1. Hopefully I don't blow up fuse or anything like that in my house. Any last comments? No? Okay. Hopefully this doesn't cut up the stream or anything like that. Not that this is like ridiculously powerful or anything like that, but just, who knows. And we should probably heat it from the backside. All right, it's mostly going to be off camera, but yeah. I just don't want it building up too hot too quickly, end up just melting the whole thing. And I'm basically running it back and forth just to warm the whole piece up. I want to bring it up slowly. Oop. Fuck! It's already frickin' melted. And there's little tears in the cloth now. Like there were, where the injection mold little nubs go. Oh no, that's where I clipped it. Those little nubs frickin' melted on me. I didn't even notice that. Shit. Can I still bend it? Nope. Let's see here. Damn, I didn't even notice that got frickin' hot like that so fast. Jeez. Your voice sounds really low, Boop.
Discord communicates first again. But we can have them soon, but we have to get.
Do what? Guns and talk is good. One of the side projects is distributions I go there. And the guns are right, so
Damn.
I was thinking of theming them after, like, Waku or Waco pirates, which are, pirates from the outlying, now Japanese island, but, at the time they were kind of like islands that existed. I've been looking at like old depictions of what those pirates looked like. Thinking I might do that with Dark Eldar, because the Eldar prior to Tau, the Eldar were this faction mixed with like Celtic and Japanese like influence, because you had like Celtic names like the Banshees and stuff. Then you had weapons like shuriken catapult. So don't know if they mean them are. And since Dark Eldar are pirates, they are, you know, the 40k version of pirates. Thinking of painting these 3rd edition Dark Eldar as them. It's like a nod to like what the Eldar kind of still are, but and also lean into the fact that Dark Eldar are pirates. So I've been like looking on the internet at like old like artistic renditions of what the pirates look like and stuff, because obviously they were not cameras back.
Well, the things they do it. Sounds fun.
So having 3 squads of 10 cavaliers.
Guys want to see something interesting?
Yeah.
5 Scourges, and then the Dark Eldar used to have a unit called the Drakon, which was just a Dark Eldar lieutenant. I'm going to use them as an Archon. Because they have this like trident weapon. It's cool enough to just say it's a power sword, whatever, but
Could have that nub melted in. That's just from lingering just a little too long. Right where those contact points on this from the sprue. Cleared those, cut them down, made it smooth, and then look how it heated, and then they just retreated right into the bit.
you can fix it by making it plasma burn or something.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Like I could make it look like it's like torn, or I could just green stuff it and just, you know, match it back up again.
Depends, or like all the. Because if you made it torn, it would be weird to have like one with the battle damaged tabard and then everybody.
Well,
It really depends what you did.
yeah, I mean, like, could just do them to look like they're battle damaged, right? Like, so, because, I mean, like, these guys are my close combat guys, right? So, it's not unusual.
Out of both wraith constructs, they'd probably be the first and the quickest to like get little bullet holes in their tabard.
Yeah. A bullet hole.
Or plasma burns, whatever. Energy
Yeah.
burns.
Which I initially I was thinking I could just like cut it and then just make it look like it's all messed up, but I don't know. I think I may actually just green stuff
You
it.
can green stuff it back.
Yeah. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Now the question is, where does it sit? All right. Why should I question it when I can just look at the fucking manual? Where does it sit? That's not terribly helpful. Basically, it hooks up to his groin. Groin. Now they show the cloth, but no groin shield, because you can do the cloth or you can do the groin shield, but they don't do them together.
I don't remember what I did on mine. Mine, I'm doing specific to like, you know, Wraith Guard have one, Wraith Blades have.
But it shouldn't interfere with anything, right? Let's find out. No, because my other one he's got his shield and cloth as well. Unless, of course, the person just kind of like made them work. Possible, eh? where the fuck does this sit? It's got these like little catches on the sides. Like, what the hell are they supposed to catch onto? Up here?
See if I can grab it.
Or did it open up when I heated it?
Oh no, I did the plunge.
I was about to say, did I do him backward? Did I put his crotch on backwards? But no.
I think they just go on to the crotch. Just kind of guess, like how, like you know, how, like some space marines have that purity seal, like tabard thing that comes that fit on space marines. Just kind of guess where you.
Yeah.
There's not really any relief cuts for it. Because I mean, it's a newer Wraith Guard kit, but it's one of their older new plastic kits, if that makes sense. So there isn't little like divots for them to be on. Just it looks good there. Okay.
Yeah. The instructions are not terribly clear as to where this goes. Like what it's attaching to. Because the end of the bit has these like little circular details. And it's not 100% clear how it connects up. Or do I have it backwards? Again, fuck you. No, I think that's the front. Fucking hell. Oh, that shows it like that's the back. Uh-oh. I might have did this cloth backwards. How did I do this backwards? Yeah, I think I did this fucking cloth backwards. Oops. Oops. But still doesn't explain how this fucking matches up to the piece. Because, like, goddamn instructions. Yeah, goddamn instructions show it, like, just sitting there in the little ribbed space of the damn legs. It's attaching to that? That don't make no damn sense.
Yeah, it's one of them older new kits.
Because like this picture shows it like it's attached to that pelvis part, but that shows it like it's separated. These are old instructions though.
Let me see if I might have one with that off fabric.
Yeah. And they don't show it with the cloth and that shield plate at the same time. Alright, well, it really doesn't matter which way this went.
It's the same on mine. Mine's literally just, it's literally glued on to the places around the cod piece. So like the little, like, I guess, leg extension thing.
Yeah, the little ribbed things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's on there? I had to look. I had to go find one. I was like, pretty sure I put a tabard on one of them. Because some of the groin shield ones have like tabards coming.
Yeah.
I went and looked. I was like, oh yeah, no, he's got his on the leg joints too.
Okay. So, to make this work, I'm going to cut the back sides here. I'm going to make them flush. Just so there's more surface area, so these things can adhere. Give them a little scoring, because we're going to glue this son of a bitch right into place. You know what? We'll use the... No, we'll use the extra thin. The extra thin will creep right inside. It'll creep.
PayPal. I always forget that my credit card and PayPal, they do those, credit card companies have started doing those cashback deals with companies, to get people to come to their credit card versus other people's credit card.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting to use that, because sometimes they give you like $20, $30 in cash back to go use that, like, Gander Mountain, or like Starbucks. You get a Starbucks. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but, $20 or $30 at Starbucks, that's a couple of coffees.
I probably should have waited until this torso's set up fully. I can feel it moving. But there's the cloth. It's not bad.
No?
Did I...
Maybe like those.
Yeah, I can feel the torso though moving. Fuck. Yeah, it's fucking moving. Fuck you. Okay, we're gonna have to get extreme here. Because I don't feel like separating it. Oh, did it anyway. Oh, fuck you.
Putting together 40k, but it's totally unrelated to Eldar. Tau getting new toys, and it's starting to look like if Tau's playing Knights, it's a game of who goes first and how many things they can bracket in that person.
Oh, for the Tau?
For the Tau and Tau versus because all these weapons are like devastating, but a lot of them are really devastating to Knight players who typically in a normal game of 40k are only fielding like 4 models. So, because Tau are getting a weapon for the Storm Surge, can theoretically just outright kill any Questoris Knight. So that's like the basic Knights, the normal Knights everybody sees. Can kill in 1 round of shooting.
Right.
So, that's a quarter of a Knight player's army. So what I'm saying is, but since the Tau vehicles are big, and you can't really hide them, because if the Tau player wants to shoot Knights, he's got to, be where he can see the Knights, and if he sees the Knights can see him. So it's basically looking like, and Tau vehicles have never been like super resilient. They've always kind of been like this glass cannon thing. where yeah, it's got the big gun on it, big, you know, screw off gun on it, but, you know, the basic chassis is like you sneeze on it and it blows up. So it's looking like, at least when it's a Tau and Knight players playing each other, it's looking like who goes first and how many vehicles they can either just outright kill or bottom bracket. Because once they're on the bottom bracket, you know, it's orc shooting. It's like hitting on circles.
Yeah, they're not effective anymore.
So it's looking like, you know, if the Tau player goes first, he's going to take out like a good chunk of Knights. Knight player goes first, he's going to take out a good chunk of Tau vehicles. So it's just kind of looking like, at least Tau versus Knights is not really looking like a super interesting kind of match. Which, for a lot of people, will go, oh, it doesn't really matter. But at my stores, there's quite a few Tau players prior to this codex being out and shit. There's a lot of Knight players. So I'm going to be seeing this matchup a lot.
Right.
One of those interesting, boring... Looks like it's going to be one of those interesting, boring things to see at the store. Because it's going to come down to who went first and was able to bracket or destroy the other person's big toys first. Oh, you're putting the loincloth and the belly, or the blowing field thing.
Yeah. The crotch plate.
Doesn't really need it.
Why doesn't he need it?
I get it. It's just to fill out like in space. Because why not?
Yeah. Well, I like
I was
the.
making a joke because, you know, an automation, or, you know, it's basically a machine. I mean, it's piloted by Eldar spirits, but the thing's like an automaton. So I was making a joke that it doesn't need a crotch plate because they're protected.
Right. No, I like the look of the Eldar Wraiths, which is why I did it for my Phantom Titan, with the crotch armor and that hip armor. I like that look.
I like it too.
So, okay. That's fully sewn. Oh, no, it's not fully sewn because I didn't put the guns on yet. But they're just...
Eldar apparently being right around the corner. I put my Elatok on hold. One, because obviously it's looking like it's just going to be me and Matt from the link. So I'm not going to bring my Elatok because there's no point.
Yeah.
So I stopped working on them and all the new Eldar, because all the new Eldar are coming out. I'm just going to throw into my... I mean, what I bought for the Elatok, staying the Elatok, and I'll eventually get back to it for hopefully 2023. But, the world doesn't end. But,
Yeah.
But everything in this new wave of Eldar, at least initial purchases of it, are going to my old way, since that is my main Eldar thing. Because the Elatok was just kind of like, I'm going to have fun at the con, and I want to paint something other than red, because I paint Blood Angels, green, because of my Guardsmen, or black, Wolfwood.
Right.
It's like, oh, blue. You know, I could paint some Eldar.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm okay with all this.
You like the pose?
Yeah, I'm. It's not exactly as I wanted, but as I was, manipulating parts around and stuff, and I mean, trying to toss up between, full joint rebuilds or just simply shaving and cutting and working with what's there. I'm happy.
Now, are you going dual swords?
Dual swords, no. Make him look like a big wraith blade? No. No, he's a regular Wraithlord. Just no heavy weapons on him.
Oh, he's a Wraithlord.
Yeah, it's a Wraithlord, man.
Yeah. No, I was sitting there, I was looking at the model, and I was like, oh yeah, I was looking at a Wraithlord.
Yeah, you're looking at a Wraithlord, man.
No, I know, there, and the one on my table is a Wraithlord, but in my brain, I was like, oh, sword on his model, Wraithblade.
Yeah.
Because mine's shooty, because I already have a bajillion, for my old way, I have a bajillion Wraithblades, so I was like, the two Wraithlords I have, one's a Wraith here. I was like, well, he wants a dude chilling with him, so I made my Wraithlord treaty for something.
Yeah, I mean, like, for me personally, like, at least in the old rules. Actually, what does this configuration cost me nowadays? I don't even know.
I was looking at my model, Wraithlord, looking at your model, Wraithlord, but in my brain was like, Wraithblade, because he's got a sword.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, where's the other sword?
I have another one that I want to convert or at least repose, and yeah. So the inspirations obviously are, like samurai poses or kung fu, like just sword poses, right?
More Southeast Asian inspired sword pose.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's to keep it visually interesting. Holy shit, this is taking forever.
There were sword poses for Europeans, but
yeah,
at least when it came to knights and stuff, there was only so many poses.
Yeah, because it was pretty straightforward, right? As opposed to
fighting, ways of fighting.
Yeah. Craft World datasheet. Where is my Wraithlord? The Lord of Wraiths. There he is.
I want to get another Wraith gear. That might be my next goal.
Okay, so right now he's still listed as 100 points. Yeah. And so the sword option was just, 10 points, I believe?
I think technically the sword option's like the cheapest.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure, like, in my old army list, he only cost me like 110 to run in this configuration.
Yeah. Because he a lot of his weapon options aren't super expensive, but it's when he because he can take so many guns on him.
Yeah.
It starts adding up.
And the way I play with my Eldar, which is mostly bike heavy, so very, very squishy, I like having these guys to take some of the bullets, right?
And he's bigger, and everybody knows.
Right, exactly. And so I take him as cheaply as possible.
It's a big unit doesn't make it powerful. But if it's a big unit, your opponent's going to shoot at it because, I don't know, it's just like the normal reaction from gamers is, big thing, shoot at it.
Right, exactly. And so that whenever I've played like about 15 or 2,000 point games, I try to fit in 3 of these. And I basically all they do is they just run towards the enemy. And that's it. And then get stuck in. That's all I use them for. It's just big blockers, essentially.
Because the big damage dealing unit, at least in your arm, from what I've seen, is the Warlock Enclave on bike.
Yes, yeah. Well, it does a good amount of damage, but that's another durable unit. When I do the 3 Wraithlords, that's typically in place of doing a Seer Council. Bringing these guys and a Seer Council, that would be really hilarious. No model count, essentially. No way of controlling the board. And the way that the game works nowadays is, it's really about board control. So,
yeah. While Laypop was surprisingly, because my Wolfway, when I played, I mean, yeah, I have Guardian and stuff, but I typically bring a lot of expensive units. The Laypop list I was billing for 1K, like 3 Vipers or a Flyer in it, and that was like my big thing. Everybody else was just on foot. There was like a bunch of Rangers, Guardians, I mean, a squad of Wraithblades with like the shield and axe, just to be like this kind of like ball in front of my Seer Council and Farseer.
Yeah, this is mostly how I envisioned it. I wanted the sword actually swept back further, but that would require rebuilding essentially that wrist. And also the hand is just, the grip is too firm for that to have that big deflection in it like that. have to have a slightly looser grip on the handle of the sword to have it swept straight back.
Wraith constructs are not quite as dexterous as a normal Eldar would be.
They're pretty dexterous. They're described as being like almost as quick as the Eldar, and in fact,
okay, never mind.
In fact,
I figured they would have been quick, but not like Eldar are quick.
Well, Eldar are very, very fast in comparison to a human, so a wraith actually moves like a human by comparison. If that makes sense.
That makes sense.
At least that's the way it's always been described, anyway. What time we at here? Holy cramoly. Oh, geez Louise. We got 3 minutes left. Okay, well, he's assembled. He's just really got a cure. I just got to attach him to his base, attach his guns. He's getting equipped with flamers. Still undecided whether I really want to do something to fix the cloth. Toying with the idea of making it more nipped up or just fix it. I don't know.
Luckily, it's at the back. It's in like an open area. It says.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few spots here that I got a little bit too overexcited and ended up like kind of making it worse for myself, but that's fine. Again, this is just tabletop. I'm not like entering this into a competition or anything like that.
Even when I'm paying my high standard, not my competition standard, but my like high tabletop, I just kind of put the whole model together because this is for a display competition where the judge is going to pick up the model and actually look at it. If it's something I can't see, you know, like maybe under his chin, I won't even touch it with the paintbrush. I might spray under there to make sure there's no plastic showing, but I might not go under there with the paintbrush.
Yeah. No, he definitely needs to sit and cure for a bit. Even me just kind of playing with him like this makes me nervous. Just well, he feels very, very solid right now, and when I was screwing around with that cloth, I loosened up the connection in his torso, so I had to re-glue that, but he feels solid again, so. Plus, I also put a little bit of extra glue in there, and that will always just automatically re-soften up your connections.
Put together Chaos Guard, Captain.
Alrighty.
Pretty cool.
I feel pretty good about where he's at. I'm going to leave him for a few hours, and I might take some pics of him. I'll attach those, and I'll probably just mock up how he sits on that. Or I might just super glue it. Well, basically, I mean, this will be a super glued connection. I don't think I'll use cement to do that. Just because the pin otherwise will just be sitting in there if I just cement it, right? Because the cement isn't going to do anything for that pin. So I'm better off just using super glue and it'll give me a strong ass bond. Yeah, that should be fine.
I'm really excited to paint Captain. Put her together. I'm gonna bring my Chaos Guards.
Now the question becomes, do I paint it up just like the other Wraithlord? Or do I do them a little bit different?
I would a little bit different.
Yeah.
Because I'd imagine, I don't know, some semblance of individuality. Because he is a Wraithlord.
He is a Wraithlord, that is true.
So, I don't know how many Eldar spirits encompass a Wraith construct, but I would imagine being put in a Wraithlord is a little more prestigious than being put in a Wraith Guard.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's kind of
I would assume because of the name.
Yeah, like you imagine it's something like it was an autarch or something, right? Who was interred, whereas a Wraith Guard was, you know, maybe an aspect warrior or even just a guardian.
Is it one spirit per construct, or is it like multiple?
The way they describe it is there's multiple stones all over it, which provides power, and then one stone is basically like the driver, right? And it's the central processor, essentially, right?
So I would imagine.
Yeah, so I imagine it's just...
The Spirit Stone was a mildly important person, but I'd imagine a Wraithlord, like the one that's driving, is even more important than the one that's driving the Wraithguard.
But the thing is that I don't think it really matters who it was, other than maybe for the Wraithlords. I don't know. I don't know. Does anybody know, like, who's really steeped in Eldar lore? Like who is supposed to be in a Wraithlord? Because it's supposed to be twins, apparently, for a Wraith Knight. One is alive and one is dead. And then the Phantoms, it's like 2 living, or was it 3? And the Revenants, it was similar to a Wraith Knight where it's 2, but one is dead and one is alive, kind of thing. Something like that. So, yeah. It's something. Load. All right. So I think we're done with that. 2 minutes OT.
Dead Eldar heroes, according to Lexicon.
For
Wraithlords, it's inhabited by the souls of dead Eldar heroes.
For a hero, yeah, okay, sure, yeah. I mean, there used to be.
The picture of the Wraithlord in there he has that standard like figure 8, but it has like lines above it. It has like a slightly in his tabard has slightly like more intricate heraldry on it and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, because like there used to be like, well, for the Wraiths, it used to be there was Ghost Warriors, Wraithguard, and then Wraithlords, and then of course you got to the Titans. It would be kind of fun if they brought back that really small scale Wraith construct, the Ghost Warriors, which would be fun. Never know. I
don't think they were into that this release, but who knows in the future.
They were a thing only in first edition.
Yeah, they might.
They never made the second edition crossover.
Well, who knows? Because they seem to be harkening back to old stuff. Because Helbrick's new model, Primaris model, harkens back to like old art.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So anywho, that's today's stream. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thanks to Barfing Sheep and Boop for joining me today.
Did somebody come in earlier?
No. I had to switch programs today. I had a problem with my other program that I stream with. That's why, like, on the stream right now, you're not seeing any of the names appearing on the side of the screen.
So you had to hit up somebody, go, I need help, fix it.
No, I didn't even bother. It was like 40 minutes before I even streamed today that all of a sudden my program that I normally use just is not opening. I don't know why. So I had to bust out the older program. Basically, I'm on OBS right now. Normally, I use Streamlabs. For anybody who has any idea what the fuck's going on. Ugh. And then, of course, the first few minutes of the show was me rummaging through a bits box. So, compelling stuff, I know. All right. Kim says, remember, there is no play for Mr. Gray, so paint your fucking models.
I will not paint my model.
Boop.
Well, I'm not painting them.
Any wisdom? Excellent. Good talk.
Nope, got nothing.
Barfing?
Too much gloom.
Actually, you know what?
Bad time for you.
Tucoma's thunder. Remember to shave your nut.
Okay.
And then it has to come up with something else.
Well, he did.
Well, he has.
He has. He's saying
Yeah,
that.
he said paint your fucking.
Yeah, paint your fucking models.
That's fucking-
Barfing, what do you got?
Too much glue means no fun for you.
There we go.
It's true.
It is true. And, be a gentleman. Use lube.
Yeah. We always come back to the lube, don't we?
Always. This is important. It's important.
Fascination.
Hey, it is one of those lesser acknowledged things in the universe. It's just like for us miniature painters, what's the most important element of painting miniatures?
fucking
Painting
paint.
your miniatures.
No, but when you sit down to paint your miniatures, what's the most important thing?
Having the minis of painting. Or having to paint. I don't know.
No, having fucking light so you can see what you're doing.
That's true.
Right? So a good lamp is very important. And
Just like
Just-
a loop.
just like a lamp, lube is very important. So, there you go.